Toyota just did the unthinkable. In a market where electric vehicles are popping up faster than anyone can keep track of, they released something so affordable, so technologically advanced, and so unexpected that it sent shockwaves through the automotive world. This new model, the BZ3X, arrived in China with a startling promise. Top-tier features, surprisingly long range, and a price that seems almost too good to be true. For years, critics claimed Toyota had missed the electric boat, pointing to sluggish development and half-hearted attempts, especially after the BZ4X fiasco that barely made a dent in China's highly competitive EV market. Yet this bold new launch, bolstered by JAC Toyota's cutting-edge partnership, suggests the company might have been hiding a more radical plan all along. But this shocking release was only the tip of the iceberg. Rumors of new controversies, advanced driver assistance breakthroughs, and potential Western knockoffs are already swirling, and the drama is only getting started. When Toyota officially unveiled the BZ3X, it felt like a moment lifted straight out of a sci-fi story. A 5-seat crossover that exuded an almost futuristic glow, the BZ3X challenged everything people thought they knew about Toyota's EV ambitions. Far from being a bland, uncompetitive offering, it stunned onlookers with a shocking price tag in the range of $15,000 to $20,000, figures that most rival manufacturers wouldn't even dare approach for a brand new electric vehicle. Suddenly, conversations changed from whether Toyota was lagging behind to whether it had just blindsided the entire global auto market. Designed under the GAC Toyota joint venture, the BZ3X shares a striking resemblance to the popular RAV4 in terms of size and general shape. The difference? This newcomer boasts sleeker lines, a more aerodynamic stance, and interior features that appear to have come from a decade in the future. From the outside, you might just see another modern crossover, but open the door and you're met with a minimalist dashboard, hidden climate control interfaces, and seats that fold completely flat so you can practically lounge inside like it's your personal living room. The real jaw-dropper though is the variety of battery options, from around 50 kilo to a 70 kilo power pack, each promising a decent chunk of range. Reports suggest up to 300 miles, converted roughly from Chinese efficiency tests, could be possible, though the exact ePay figures would be a bit lower. Still, the idea that you can buy a future-proof EV packed with advanced features for less than the typical cost of a basic gasoline car has everyone wondering if the BZ3X is about to flip the market on its head. Yet the real uproar began once people discovered the hidden technology buried inside. Early owners noticed that this wasn't just your run-of-the-mill EV with average safety features in a cheap interior. Instead, it carried the seeds of a system so advanced that some immediately compared it to Tesla's most ambitious self-driving dreams. But that's only half the story. The next wave of controversy took everything to a whole new level. The BZ3X's biggest curveball wasn't the sleek look or the comfortable cabin, it was the Momenta-powered driver assistance technology, a state-of-the-art system that embraces LiDAR sensors for a kind of machine vision rarely seen in mainstream cars, especially not in the same price bracket as a budget-friendly commuter. Some have called it a Tesla killer, claiming it might outdo Tesla's full self-driving concept. Others believe it's just another marketing gimmick. Either way, the details are eye-opening. Toyota partnered with the Chinese startup Momenta to equip certain trim levels with robust LiDAR, advanced cameras, and an AI platform that allegedly learns on the go. In theory, owners could enjoy a vehicle that navigates highways and crowded city streets with minimal human input, all for a fraction of the cost of Tesla's advanced driver assistance packages. Naturally, accusations surfaced that Toyota was trying to bury the memory of its earlier EV flop, the BZ4X, by debuting a new model that looked more futuristic and performed better on paper. Critics insisted the company was scrambling to make up lost ground in the electric race, while Toyota loyalists maintained it was all part of a grand strategy timed perfectly for China's rapidly evolving car market. However, no technology is without its risks. Skeptics warn that Toyota's reliance on a Chinese software stack could raise cybersecurity concerns, particularly for any chance of global export. Meanwhile, fans in North America and Europe wonder why Toyota seems more willing to experiment with cutting-edge features for Chinese consumers than for them. But that wasn't the end of Toyota's complicated EV journey, because lurking behind all these breakthroughs was a lingering ghost, the BZ4X, a model whose legacy still casts a shadow over Toyota's reputation. The BZ4X should have been Toyota's triumphant entry into the fully electric space, but instead it stumbled almost immediately in China. In a market saturated by local brands touting low prices and high technology, the BZ4X was deemed underwhelming. Deliveries there were unceremoniously cut off, fueling rumors that Toyota was either abandoning the project or rushing back to the drawing board. Some whispered that it was a desperate retreat to prevent an embarrassing flop from tarnishing Toyota's broader image. That's why the BZ3X's sudden appearance came as such a shock. How could Toyota go from an apparent misstep to unveiling what appears to be one of the most advanced, cost-effective EVs in the Chinese market? Some longtime industry watchers suspect Toyota had always planned a multi-vehicle approach, launching multiple BZ models to see which one resonated best with local tastes. Others believe the BZ4X's failure forced a frantic pivot, prompting Toyota to fast-track the BZ3X's development and jam it with every bell and whistle possible. Critics, however, are quick to point out that the BZ3X might just be the latest in a long line of flashy unveilings that fade away once real-world testing starts. Will this model actually live up to its hype? Will Toyota manage to execute large-scale production without cutting corners or raising prices? And most importantly, will they be able to maintain the advanced driver assistance technology at such a low price over the long term? Yet even with these stumbles, Toyota had a bigger plan that extends far beyond a single model's success. Insiders say the BZ4X fiasco served as a wake-up call, galvanizing teams across the globe to pursue bolder innovations. But how far would Toyota go to bring these new developments beyond Chinese borders? That's where speculation hit a fever pitch and all eyes turned to the West. For many US and European EV enthusiasts, the thought of buying a Toyota crossover loaded with LiDAR, advanced AI, and a rumored 300-mile range, all for a shockingly low price, sounds like a dream. But the harsh reality is that import tariffs, regulations, and local manufacturing constraints could make that dream nearly impossible. Even if Toyota wanted to ship the BZ3X overseas, they'd face steep tariffs on Chinese-built vehicles. On top of that, a massive portion of the BZ3X's components come from Chinese suppliers, which might disqualify it from certain regional incentives or subsidies in places like the United States. Despite those barriers, whispers persist that Toyota might be working on a different version of this very platform, sometimes referred to as the BZ4X Touring, or even a new electric crossover tailor-made for other markets. Whether it would mirror the BZ3X's interior design, battery range, or advanced driver assistance features is anyone's guess. Still, the concept alone has unsettled Western automakers. If Toyota successfully duplicates the BZ3X's low-cost high-tech formula elsewhere, it could blow a hole in the profit margins of competitors accustomed to offering premium-priced EVs. On the consumer side, the buzz is deafening. Why should Chinese drivers get to pilot a near-futuristic Toyota that nearly drives itself and costs less than a budget sedan in the West? A question like that usually demands a response, but official statements from Toyota have been vague. They're focusing on evaluating global market needs and pursuing localized production strategies. In other words, they're playing their cards close to the chest, but a storm was brewing behind the scenes, beyond just this single EV. Toyota's next big move would feed right into these growing controversies, and rumors began swirling of an entirely different electric model, possibly poised to make waves around the world. As the BZ3X hype escalated, another name kept popping up in insider circles. The CHR-E. Toyota has already confirmed that an all-new crossover is in the works, and many insiders suspect it'll wear a CHR badge in certain regions. This new model, they say, could incorporate design elements from the BZ3X, sleek lines, minimalist interiors, and potentially even advanced autonomy features. The aim would be to craft a global powerhouse that can hold its own, not just in China, but also in tough markets like the United States and Europe. Speculations ran wild about everything from battery sizes to the possibility of LiDAR integration. Some even claim Toyota might source its battery tech from the same Chinese partnerships fueling the BZ3X, sparking debates about whether this new CHR EV would qualify for tax credits or other local incentives abroad. Others are convinced Toyota might rebrand or tweak the vehicle substantially to distance it from Chinese manufacturing controversies. Still, Toyota is keeping official details under lock and key. Publicly, they only mention pursuing flexible EV platforms and strengthening cross-continental partnerships. Yet rumors persist that a striking prototype is already hidden deep in a Japanese facility, combining the BZ3X's futuristic cabin with a more global-friendly design. Enthusiasts speculate the unveiling might come sooner than anyone expects, which only intensifies the anticipation. But behind all these whispers lay a more profound shift in Toyota's master plan, one that ties together not just the BZ3X or the rumored CHR-EV, but the entire future of how Toyota intends to stay on top in an increasingly crowded EV landscape. If there's one thing Toyota has always excelled at, it's playing the long game. They were pioneers of hybrid technology, championed hydrogen fuel cells when few others dared, and now appear poised to make a major EV push. Yet some insiders claim Toyota has been battling an internal tug-of-war for years. One faction wants to stick to hybrids and hydrogen, believing these are more dependable in the long run. Another faction insists that battery electric is the future, especially after seeing how quickly the Chinese market latches on to new EV models. Then came the BZ3X, a sign that perhaps Toyota's EV advocates are gaining the upper hand, especially with those stunningly low prices and high-tech features. There have been shocking reports of extensive behind-the-scenes negotiations with Chinese tech companies, adding to a swirl of rumors about potential expansions of Toyota's R&D centers across Asia. All these moves underscore Toyota's desire to become a frontrunner in the global EV race rather than a reluctant participant. Of course, controversies linger. Some ask if Toyota is only appearing to embrace EVs to placate shifting consumer demands, while quietly hedging bets on hydrogen technology. Others suspect the brand might be leveraging Chinese government incentives for local EV production, saving costs that it cannot replicate in other markets. These contrasting theories keep Toyota's global fans guessing about the true extent of its newfound electric enthusiasm, and what happened next would blow everyone away. Just when the chatter seemed to reach a peak, Toyota teased that a flurry of major announcements would arrive in the coming months. New designs, rumored concept reveals, and possibly even a Chinese export strategy that no one saw coming. This whirlwind tale of the BZ3X encapsulates far more than just a single car launch. It shines a bright light on the internal struggles, bold strategies, and changing philosophies that are reshaping Toyota's global identity. From the shocking price points and advanced LiDAR tech to the rumored CHR-EV that might follow in its footsteps, Toyota's electric narrative has taken one dramatic turn after another. Where does this leave the brand's global audience? Right now, Western drivers can only watch from afar as Chinese consumers test drive a futuristic Toyota that nearly pilots itself and costs less than many used cars. Will Toyota replicate that success story outside of China? Could it truly challenge the high-priced EVs that dominate the US and European markets? Or is the BZ3X a one-off experiment destined to remain locked behind import barriers and corporate caution? Perhaps Toyota's late arrival to the EV party will transform into a miraculous second wind, one that sees them catapulted to the forefront of the electric revolution. Or maybe the controversies around battery sourcing, manufacturing complexities, and internal disagreements will keep them in a perpetual state of catch-up. For now, the best anyone can do is watch, speculate, and wonder whether the next chapter in Toyota's story will deliver on the wild promise of the BZ3X. Because if there's one undeniable truth about this entire saga, it's that Toyota has just opened a door to the future, and nobody is quite sure what will come roaring through it next.